Yes, g'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Automotive Carnage. My name's DJ and today we're going to continue work on the 1979 Toyota Cressida that we're trying to shove a 5.4 litre V8 into. Now when I last left you, we finally got this thing running and it was absolutely so sweet to hear this thing roar into life so quickly after I plugged the ECU in properly. So, you know, a little bit of troubleshooting things going on there, but thank you so much again to Bill Hooton for being very patient with me all day. Going through various different scenarios of check this, check that, blah, blah, blah. He was absolutely awesome, and because of him and his amazing wiring that he did for the ECU, we actually have this engine running. So you may ask, why is it sitting over there? Yes, I think in the last episode too, I mentioned that that was the last time that the engine was going in, and here it is sitting out. What's going on? Well, we are making the manifolds. This is one of the last major jobs that I have to do on this vehicle, and it was quite a bit trickier than I anticipated, mainly due to just the size, the room, the lack of room in the engine bay. So that is also why it's been so long since the last episode, because I spent quite a bit of time just scratching my head trying to figure out how to get these to fit in. Originally the plan was to design them so that we could take the manifolds on and off without having to remove the engine, but just because of the lack of space, that was not possible. So we had to pull the engine out and design them the way they are. Now, are they going to win any design contests? No. Are they going to win any beauty contests? No. Are they going to work at exhausting gases from the engine out the back of the car? Yes, and that is all we need. You can see I've used galvanized pipe. I've used some flanges that Jay from Low Standards YouTube channel made for me. Thank you so much. They were a pinnacle part of these manifolds and getting them to work, because there was just no off-the-shelf manifold flanges available for this vehicle, or for this motor I should say. So we started with that. He bought those for us. Then yeah, some galvanized pipe for the runners, some more gal pipe for the collectors, and then just whatever else I could find lying around to make it up. This is a scrap pile we ended up with, and we've used many different bits and pieces and gone through about 20 different ideas on how to make these all work. So now I've done a little bit of tidy up in the engine bay. We got rid of the battery tray, which we're no longer going to use. Had to clearance a little bit of my welds over here so that we could fit the starter motor in just a little bit nicer, and so the positive post wasn't so close to the chassis. Now we'll put the engine back in for the last time again. Let's see how it happens. And there we have it, a couple of hours later, and the engine is in place. Now that didn't take a few hours, but it's in and it's ready to go. Now as you can see, there is bugger all clearance left to run the exhaust system, which has made it very tricky, and unfortunately is why we had to pull the engine to be able to fit in. I mean, look how tight that is down there. Everything's just going on down there, but that's okay. We managed to make it all fit. Now what we have been doing for the last couple of hours is going through all the bits and pieces that we picked up from the rubbish dump and cutting out the necessary angles and flanges that we need. And Dad has been welding up our Y pipe that we've put together out of what we've got. We've got steam pipe, we've got Toyota Hilux exhaust, we've got Toyota Prado joiner in the middle there, we've got, I think the flexi joint is from a VE Commodore. So all bits and pieces to make this work together. So once he finishes rolling that up, we will put it on and then start this car and see what it sounds like with its headers and this Y pipe in place. Okie dokie, so Dad's just doing up the last bolts on his side, and if we bring it underneath here, give you an idea of what it looks like. And you know, it snakes around where it needs to go. Ain't nothing flash, that's for sure. All right, you ready?
Go.
Well, that sounds awesome.
That is awesome.
Don't worry about the smoke, that's just all the paint and the putty coming off. Look, you can already see the 500 Fahrenheit paint is already bubbling.
Is it?
Yeah, that was smooth before.
Yeah.
So that's all right.
Oh, that's awesome.
And there's all the galvanized on the pipes too underneath that is going to burn off. But that sounds good.
Yeah.
Definitely needs a muffler or a resonator on it, which we found this one. This came off a VE Commodore. So just a single little hot dog. We'll put that on, see what it sounds like. If it was just us, we'll leave it like that. But because we're going to recenter that, we have to take it over the rear diff. So we might end up putting a non-muffler at the back as well, just so we can cruise on the streets a bit quieter. Sounds so good though. Yeah, all right. That's all for tonight. Come back tomorrow and we'll build that midsection and the tailpipe. And then the exhaust is done and we can start putting all the cooling system in and we can run it a bit longer, which would be awesome. And well, there we have it folks, Bucky Yundle is finally done. After 2 years from coming up with the concept of building a bush car from the bush, we are now able to actually turn the wheels and drive this thing around the racetrack. So excited, yes. Nervous, absolutely. I know the guy who built this car and it kind of scares me a little bit. So as you know, 5.4 litre Ford Fairmont V8 in there, 4-speed automatic, Hilux rear end LSD, VC Commodore manual steering rack, and a whole bunch of other parts that are not meant to go into a 1979 Toyota Cressida. So this is it in its purest form. The actual idea was to build a bush car from the bush and just use bits and pieces that we had lying around, and this is what we've come up with. Yeah, let's get out there. What's left to build on it now is just some safety gear for the rear center net. So we've got to get some headlights working, some tail lights, brake lights, all that kind of stuff. Seat belts as well, got to put those back in. So yeah, let's start up and see what happens. Okay. So there we go, it idles pretty sweetly actually. We had a few air leaks that we had to plug up, but once we figured those out, we went from 1800 RPM down to, what's it sitting at now? We have just an OBD2 reader that gives us some vitals, so we're currently 67 degrees on the temperature, a nice idle of 660, 680, and hopefully with the vehicle speed sensor hooked up, we should get a kilometers per hour reading as well. So yeah, let's get a GoPro on the screen and go for a drive. Kind of delaying it, very nervous. I'm asking for this to not fall apart. Okay, I don't have a seatbelt. Let's see how this goes. We have drive. Something's grinding. RPM. Okay, steering is absolutely woeful. So if anything goes wrong, I reckon it's going to be, it doesn't select gear because we're not getting a speed sense. The wheels are going to fall off because the spacers are dodgy on the front, or the steering rack's going to fall apart because that is very loose. And well, yeah, I've got steering, but man, is it's light. That's really bad. Okay, let's go these bumps here. And what's our engine temperature? 97, 2000 RPM. Yeah, we're not changing gears. Brake test. Okay, brakes work. brakes work adequate at whatever speed we're going. But yeah, we've only got one gear. And I've got a fuel leak now, I can smell the fuel. Hey! We changed gears. Holy crap, we've got second gear. I did not expect that. I wonder if it's because the transmission was completely lacking fluid and therefore it's only just starting to work its way through all the valve bodies. But we're currently cruising in second gear, 1300 RPM. I have no idea how fast we're actually going. Oh, okay, now we're starting to get a few shakes and rattles. Alright, let's get a square around this corner. Jake's on camera. Okay, here we go. Woohoo! Okay, it's not falling apart yet. Have absolutely useless steering. That is shocking. Okay, we'll do one more lap and then we'll give it a test. Okay, what's our engine temperature's at 95. We are just putting, so that's okay. I mean, hey, all we want to do is cruise the streets of Alice Springs. We don't want to win any races. Oh, that bumps are up. We're not doing any drag racing, we're not doing any burnouts. All we want to do is cruise the main streets of Alice Springs. Alright, let's give this thing another squirt. Oh, those brakes are shit. It works! Okay, 3 laps down and nothing's falling apart yet. So we just pulled in, we'll do a quick check over. I want to check those wheel nuts, make sure they're still tight, same as the back ones. What did you see in here, Dad? Oh, okay, so it's weeping a bit on the fuel pump. Okay, so my burst elastic might fix that. But battery's still in its place, that box is doing well. Yeah, so we'll check out on these wheel nuts. Engine temperature is doing way better than I anticipated. 95, we're still idling nicely at 600. It's a shame we can't get a vehicle speed on the sensor, but that's all right. Yeah, as I said, the handling is absolutely useless, but you know, it's a bit of adjustment. We might be able to make it better. So yeah, I'll do those wheel nuts and let's do some more laps. Catch it in time. Steering wheel is, yeah, we're not going to be doing any kind of speed runs with this handling, that's for sure. Oh man, someone's been on this track with a blooming motorbike or something and it has just been ripped up in the corners. So, line out this way, get on the soft stuff. But obviously our suspension is absolutely shot as well. I mean, we're rattling and battling over all these bumps. Oh man, okay, anyway, here we go. 2, 3 and 4. Oh man, sheer handful. Absolute handful. Okay, so strong fuel smells coming out the rear. Engine temperature's just at 100. We're still cruising nicely. We've got 2 gears, so I mean, if we can cruise these speeds on the streets where the road's a bit smoother, we'll be good. The only way you're turning this car at speed is with the rear. This front handling there's nothing going on up the front. Well, that's okay. I mean, we can navigate corners, we can navigate bumps. Definitely don't want to be doing too many bumps. Okay, we'll do one more squirt, and then we'll pull in and we'll pop the bonnet and see how the strut top is doing. Something's not happy. There's reverse. Okay, let's try going reverse. We've got some sort of whining or squeaking coming from the front. So let's pop the bottom and see what that is. So I won't be surprised. Yeah, now that it's cooled down, I reckon we're back down at 97. We did get up to 100 when I was on it. Still gotta fix that air leak properly.
Oh, that's what it is.
Oh, true, that could have been what's sucking. See, because what I'm worried about is this part here is really quite kinked. Yeah, so if we're going to have an overheating issue, it's there.
It's a there, look.
So we need more tape. Or, yeah, plug that up properly somehow.
I'll just run beside you.
Okay, sounds good. But otherwise it's actually going well.
You got any more tape?
Possibly. Want to check in the tool bag, Jake?
It says what the bit is stuck in here and so
yeah, screwing as it gets past the tape. But everything else under here is looking okay. We've burnt off all that paint that was on the headers. Thermos have kicked in, which is fantastic. The brakes are, well, they're there. It's working. It's actually working. I built something and it works. This is crazy. How's our fuel leak on the back here going? Yeah, I had to borrow a couple of my doors here twice to hold that down. Yeah, I mean, it definitely needs to be seen to, but that's okay. Okay, so everything is going relatively good thus far. Although that just changed note. When I push the brake and it changes note. We're sitting at just under 100 degrees Celsius at idle, which is fantastic. We're still idling at about 600 RPM. We've got no speed sensor, as I've said. Well, no readout anyway. So what we're going to do is Dad's going to follow behind in his vehicle. I'm going to get to where it's comfortable cruising, and we'll see how fast we can actually go. He has seatbelts. What a luxury. Oh, okay, he's ready. Let's go. There's that gear change. It's pretty smooth actually. It's probably the smoothest thing on this car is a gear change. There we go. Stop being silly. We just want to be consistent, nice and smooth. I mean, as smooth as this piece of crap can be. Nice and wide. Nothing silly. Just make sure everything holds together, which is good. Wave out. Yeah, yeah. I don't like this corner. Okay, we'll give it one more lap. And then we'll pull in and see how fast this is. I mean, it feels comfortable, but I reckon we're only doing about 40k an hour. But if we can get 50k, that would be nice. Gearbox is doing something, I can feel it changing gears. No, brakes are non-existent. Brakes are absolutely useless. 60!
What?
60!
65.
65?
Coming back along here?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I'll put it on the trailer. Let's take it in one piece.
Yeah, that's a good idea. No, no seatbelt. You gotta hold that, you gotta hold that. You gotta make sure that, tell me if that goes over 100. Ready?
Yep.
There you go, first passenger in Bucky Yundle. What's your impressions so far?
What? You asking me?
I'm asking you.
It's very loud.
It is very loud. It's very bouncy. We did have to change one wheel nut. The nut had been cross-threaded. He doesn't watch it that closely. So here we go. Bucky Yundle is doing 65-ish kilometers an hour around the racetrack. It's sort of holding itself together. I would call that a win. So we'll do one more lap, we'll load it onto the trailer, and we'll take it home. Definitely got to do something about that fuel leak at the back. That's starting to get into the cabin pretty bad. We still have to wire up the headlights. We got to finish off our bonnet pins at the front. And yeah, I think that's it. We'll give it another bolt. Hate that part. We'll give it another bolt check, make sure everything's secure, and then away we go to the red sensor nets. Ready?
Do it again.
No. That's it. We're going to quit while we're ahead. The car's in one piece. Let's leave it that way. Alright, I'll see you guys back at the shed. Well, there we have it, folks. Bucky Yundle, the 1979 Toyota Cressida bush car from the bush. Runs, it drives, it changes gears, it sort of stops and it sort of handles, but it is complete, it's together, and next stop is the red center nets. So I am very excited for the fact that I've been trying to build this thing for the last 2 years. Some of you guys have been there from the very beginning, and I truly appreciate that. So today was about proof of concept. Originally, the original idea of this car was to take something from the bush and just see if we can make it run, make it drive again, using only parts that we could find out around all these bush wrecks that we find out here. It was never meant to be a Mad Max car. It was never meant to be a restoration. It was just meant to be its own little thing, and it has become that, and so much more now with the guidelines from the red center nets. So with that said, I just need to tackle a few last minute jobs. Today's Sunday, we have to hit the road on Tuesday, so I have tomorrow just to finish off little things like finishing off these bonnet pins, get the headlights to work, little bits and pieces like that. Nothing too serious, as again, today we just proved that it works. I've learned so much building this car, about how to build a car. I've met so many awesome people. It has just been a very interesting adventure. It really has. So, in saying that, with our little red center nets brochure here, I've got a few names of people that I absolutely have to thank. First off, Byron from Down the Shed with Byron. Thank you so much, mate, for coming and helping on the car, for sourcing parts. Jay from Low Standards YouTube channel for making those exhaust flanges. Honestly, the only other flanges I could find were in the States, and they were 100 USD each, and I needed 2 of them. That was ridiculous. So Jay really saved the day with that one. Jason, the blind man from Blind Man Garage, gave me so many crazy ideas on how to actually make this work in the first place. My mate Dave, who came and helped, just wrenched on us for many hours at night time, building the engine mounts and sorting out many other parts. Young Nathan as well, helping out. Thank you so much, mate. My other 2 mates, Nathan and Kevin, Without you guys, honestly, this car probably wouldn't have been built. You were my, what do you call it, mental health support. Thank you so much. Bill Hooton, who I haven't thanked enough for building the ECU, making this actually possible in that regards. Dave from Right Lane Media for designing these awesome t-shirts and getting them shipped out to everyone who has purchased any. My Uncle Ray for showing me how to design the diff and getting that mounted in there. Graham from XA Coupe Guy and Peter Anderson from the Peter Anderson YouTube channel. Those guys have been awesome support to just keep going, and many ideas I've used of theirs in this car. A viewer, Geordie. Geordie is the reason that we have a windscreen in this. We have a windscreen, we got headlight buckets, we got seat belts, and a few other bits and pieces from him because he had a few wrecks. And he's like, hey, you need parts? I'm like, yeah, I need a window. And he's like, yep, come get it. So thank you so much, Geordie. Appreciate it. Gold Coast tail shafts. John, thank you for designing that awesome tail shaft in there. Shift Kits Australia for making the vehicle speed sensor trigger wheel. It was actually had to be a custom made one because I didn't have a design for that particular diff. And then obviously family, mum, dad, my wife Megan, my son Jake, my daughter Izzy, and my brother-in-law Tim, who have all helped so much on helping to actually build the vehicle itself, but also taking care of things around the home and taking care of family while I've been out here trying to get this thing sorted. And then obviously all you viewers for even putting up with me and watching build this car over a very long time. Thank you so much for watching. It has been such a cool adventure, and it's because of this car that we got into bushwreck hunting, and because of bushwreck hunting is where a lot of you viewers have come from. And then a very special thank you to all the awesome ones who have gone out to automotivecarnage.com, brought yourself a t-shirt, brought yourself a stubby holder. You have helped pay for a lot of the trip that we're going to take this to Alice Springs. So yeah, you guys have helped so much. So thank you so much. Again, the website's still up. So if you want to jump on there, help support, grab a t-shirt, grab a stubby cooler, automotivecarnage.com. And keep an eye on there as well. Bookmark it, do what you got to do, because we will be getting new designs, and we probably will start listing car parts on there shortly as well. So with that being said, thank you all for watching this episode of Automotive Carnage. And next week, we will be in Alice Springs. If you see us, come say hi. I would actually like to meet up with some of the guys from Street Machines, Scotty and all them. And I reckon we could do a challenge of who's got the best carnage. Yeah, that could be fun. Anyway, we'll catch you guys on next episode of Automotive Carnage. See you later.